drives to a vast stadium with thousands of people cheering your name in support. Your key to freedom is standing in front of you, fueled by adrenaline and the desire to see you defeated so that they can escape your freedom. You are a gladiator, and you're in Rome's famous Colosseum. Now, ancient Rome was a thriving and large empire in which they took pride in their entertainment. And the reason why I'm talking to you guys today about this is that a lot of entertainment that we see today can be some way traced back to ancient Rome's games. And so the reason why I chose this topic was because last quarter I took an intro to theater history class where we spent 2 weeks learning about ancient Roman entertainment and theater, and I just was memorized by it. And so I'm going to talk to you guys about that. Now, ancient Roman society devoted so much time, effort, and money into their games, such as the gladiator matches, naumachia, and chariot racing. Now, my first point will discuss the gladiator games and how they reflect the Roman culture. Now, the gladiator games are born from the Amphitheatrum Flavium, also known as the Colosseum. Now, the Colosseum origins is found in Nathan Elkin's 2006 article, The Flavian Colosseum Sestertii, published by the Royal Numismatic Society, in which he states that in 70 AD, Roman Emperor Vespasian came back to Rome after the Jewish War, in which he restored a lot of the Roman landmarks that fell during the war. And he also established new ones, most notably the Colosseum, which was completed around 80 AD when his son became the new emperor. Now, the Colosseum united all the social classes because they all shared the same interest of entertainment. And the main social classes were the slaves and the free people. And within the free people were the senators, the knights, and the plebeians, all in that order. And so they all had different seating arrangements. So in Christoph Neumeister's 1993 article, Urban Culture in Ancient Rome, published by Bergon Books, writes that the senators sat in the front row, and then with the next 14 rows would be the knights, and then followed by the plebeians, and then way up in the gallery would be the women and slaves. Now, the main stars of the Colosseum were the gladiators. Now, the gladiators could either have been a slave, you had to fight through bondage for your freedom, or professionals. And it was said that professionals can earn between 3,000 and 15,000 sesterces, which is the Roman currency. And they were the celebrities of that time, where they had billboards, and their fans were teenagers who would carve their names into the billboards in hopes that they would find them and talk to them. Now, the most famous gladiators were Priscus and Verus. And the reason why they're famous is, according to Wu Mingren's 2017 article, The Gladiators, Priscus and Verus, published by Ancient Orans, they are the only gladiator event that was detailed that was survived. Now, there's not much info on these two left, but the reason why they fought, detailed by the poet Martial, they fought because Titus was the emperor at that time, and he wanted to solidify his standing with the citizens, because he knew all of them loved the games, and he figured if he hosted a series of games, he can solidify his standing in politics. And so he was seen as a just ruler because he spared both their lives, and they saw that, oh, he was just being merciful, but he was planning on doing that anyway because he wanted to show that he could be just. He also gave them gifts, and the reason why I talk to you guys about the gladiator matches is because sports like football and UFC that we see today can be traced back, where there's large crowds going to like violent spectacles, and people take sides on who's going to win and place bets. Now, my second point involves the popular entertainment form of naumachia, which is a staged naval battle created on an artificial lake. Now, naumachia was a style of theater, and it depicted fictional or historical battles. The construction was very difficult and took a lot of resources. Rabin Taylor's 1997 article, Torn or Trickle, published by Archaeological Institute of America, notes that in order to fill up a naumachia stage in 12 hours, it would take a volume of approximately 486,500 cubic meters, or 128,519,703.47 US gallons of water. Now, naumachia's performances were romanticized, and it took a lot of resources. Now, Dean Hammer's 2010 spectacle Roman Spectacle Entertainment's article published by Johns Hopkins University Press recounts Roman Emperors Claudius' extravagant Naumachia writing. Perhaps most particularly, he reenacted a naval battle on the Fucine Lake prior to it being drained, a project that in itself took 11 years and 30,000 men. The reenactment consisted of 100 ships and 19,000 sailors, fashioned as Rhodians on one side and Sicilians on the other side, played mostly by condemned men. Now, the reason why I talk about them being condemned men is that all the deaths in these performances were real. They were not staged, and so they took the inmates and the criminals and put them out there to perform as like the final act. And so the Naumachia was creative in the way they used hippos and elephants and snakes to be sea monsters and creatures in these matches. It was the most realistic form of entertainment, and a lot of reenactments of the Civil War and Blue Nation War that we see today can somehow be traced back. Now, my last point, we'll discuss chariot races and why its popularity has spread to contemporary culture. Now, chariot racing was by far the most popular form of entertainment in ancient Rome. The Circus Maximus, located here, was the home of the races, and it had more seats in the Colosseum. Now, Garrett Fagan's 2012 article, Chariot Racing, published by Cambridge University Press, explains the sport's popularity, stating, whereas the Colosseum, associated with gladiatorial combat, which most people today think of as Rome's premier sports spectacle, could seat maybe 50 to 60,000 people, the Circus Maximus could seat 250,000 people. And so the chariot races were universally supported. They had 4 racing teams, white, red, green, and blue. And all the teams were diverse. So no matter what ethnicity were you, or what social class, you're all mixed up into these different teams. And it was a casual form of entertainment because people would socialize and take bets on which team would win. And chariot races can be found in today's entertainment. Sports like NASCAR and the Derby can also be seen traced back to chariot racing because they had kind of similar styles with teams, just the similar arena. Also, in the movie Ben-Hur, they also portray chariot racing in it and romanticizes. So in conclusion, the forms of entertainment found in ancient Rome were vast, unique, and had cultural impact in the modern world. Whether it was gladiator matches, naumachia, or chariot racing, citizens could find plenty of ways to entertain themselves. And so I like to end this speech with a clip. Thank you.